Good morning, Matt Groover here. Peace to you. I pray that your day is filled with peace, that you experience the peace that only Jesus can give, that you embrace it, and that you extend it to others. There's a story at the end of Luke chapter 10 where Jesus and the disciples are invited to two sisters' home for lunch. And Mary and Martha welcome them in. Mary sits at the Lord's feet, listening to him speak, while Martha begins to make preparations. In verse 40, but Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. But the Lord said to her, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all of these details. There's only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. There's this statement Jesus makes regarding Mary's choice. It's Mary's choice. And Martha sees it as unfair because Martha is anxious. Anxiety is the great robber of peace. And we can be worried and anxious about any detail that would come our way in life. The proverbial spilt milk can be something that causes us to be anxious. I grew up in that environment where everything mattered, as it should, but everything mattered and had to be commented on, and not always in a positive way. And that didn't make for a lot of peace. We can embrace the peace of Jesus, or we can embrace the anxious occasions, but we can't embrace them both in the realm of peace unless we start with peace. That will displace the anxiety. It's kind of like Jesus' statement to Peter in the garden. He said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. This is a concept that's going on here, a truth, a spiritual truth. You cannot embrace these two places at the same time. You can have peace or you can be anxious, but you can't do both at the same time because they're mutually exclusive. They're mutually exclusive. You have to make a choice. So, as for me, I'm wound pretty tight, and there's a lot that goes on in all of us as humans, and we can be responding to things and should be, but we need to respond to them in peace. If we want to do well as humans, we need to respond to them in peace. That's what we're made for. There wasn't a lot of anxiety in the garden. The anxiety didn't start until after sin came. We need peace in this fallen world, and people need to see it in us and around us. So embrace peace today. Know that it is powerful. Know that it is from Jesus. It is in him. So walk in him. Live and move and have your being in Jesus today. Choose the better part. Don't let the details wrap you around the axle, as Martha did. Sit at Jesus' feet, choose the better part, and then venture out and make dinner. Blessings upon you. Have a great day.